I guess I owe y'all an explanation why I've had no videos. So last time out was in, I can't even remember the name of the town, honestly. But my phone storage got over too much. Was in the pictures, and I tried to get it in iCloud, couldn't get it in iCloud, so I couldn't upload that week's video. But during that week at Dragon's Tooth and the Triple Crown, I had stepped down off one of those freaking boulders, and my hip had popped. So I got a little worrisome about that, but I told y'all in the beginning that if that injury come back, that it would eventually take me off trail. But got into town after I did 20 miles to get into town. And done a 00, got back on trail. And at this point, I had been by myself for, close to 5 days. And then got back on trail. Rained for 3 days straight. Pretty well 3 days. More than 3 days straight, actually. Didn't see anybody on trail. Got into the Blue Ridge Parkway. And, what was it? That last day, I was mentally drained just running away from the Noro, trying to find water, not seeing anybody. But at the same time, my heart and everything, mind was telling me that I needed to be alone. So that's what I did. Because I had some things to figure out, but in all reality, that's kind of what I do in real life too. I just run away from situations that get too comfortable for me, and that's something I needed to work on. And I guess I was doing the same thing out there. But lo and behold, this injury started getting back to where it was. I got real stiff in my hip. And then I was starting to get numbness down my leg. And then I noticed that I was getting a lot weaker. And then on top of that, the mental capacity I already had was kind of low. So it just added to the situation, the pain and that injury. So I woke up one morning. I was only planning to do like 16, 17 miles. Which was a pretty simple day that day. Didn't see water for a good 16 miles of it. And I only had maybe 2 liters. And the rain made the water so awful tasting from the rhododendrons and mountain laurels and all that. It was brown. Like, you couldn't get the taste out. It was almost just undrinkable. So I stomached that down, but I still didn't see no water for 16 miles or so. And I started having that pain, the numbness, and it was shooting down to my feet. It was to the point where I was gimping and going uphill. I was having to use the trekking poles to really pull me up. And I broke down. I mentally just broke down. I was beaten. And the 2 days prior to that, I was sitting there saying, if this gets any worse, there's no way I can keep going. And I decided, I sat down, sat there at a creek. There was the first person I seen on trail for days on the other side of the creek at a log. And I just sat in silence, thought about it, and got back up and pushed on. But at the same time, I bawled my eyes out for the next 6 hours. I pushed through the pain, cried, laughed, called people, because at that point I decided that I needed to get off trail. It was not safe for me to be out there, and it just is what it is. And this was about, I don't know, 3.5 weeks ago. My aunt, well, not my aunt, I'll get to that point. But that day, I was just so pissed off. I ended up doing 26 miles and like 7,000 foot of elevation gain, which ended up being my biggest day. And I ended up staying in a parking lot that night. And my aunt had come and got me. But just, it sucked to get off, but it was the right thing to do. For the simple fact that I started out injured. I wasn't even 80% when I started the trail, and I still made it, 800 miles. So that was pretty cool to say. But my aunt picked me up. We went to Winston-Salem. She picked me up in my truck. I didn't even recognize my truck when she come in there and got me. But, and then I went and seen a PT, or not, yeah, I guess a PT. Had x-rays done and examined and all that. And it turned out that I got piriformis syndrome pretty bad, which is just something that takes a long time to heal of. And then, my hip flexor has tendonitis or bursitis, one of the two. So I was told to rest up and do all these exercises and stretch and everything. But in between that period, like, I don't think I've really been that, I don't know how to describe it, but I felt invisible. Like, post-trail depression is a real deal. Like, if it wasn't for my tramily and the group messages we're in, it'd been a tough time. Like, don't get me wrong, it was still tough. But, I felt like I was present, but at the same time, I felt like I was just kind of a shadow of everything. Like, I didn't want to be involved. I didn't want to talk unless it was the tramily. I felt lost because I was indoors and driving and seeing people everywhere. The noises, like a lot of things now is like PTSD for me. Like, I'm still not happy being in the real world. But I ended up driving home. I got a job. I'm up here in Syracuse, New York working. I'll be here till like November. So I'm up here. I'm working again. I can do full-on exercise, but I'm still struggling with the hip. It's still tight. But yeah, we'll be all right. And then a couple other members of the tramily, like 2 weeks after I got off, they're off now. And it's just, I know it sounds kind of rude, but it also makes me feel like, okay, it's not just me. Like, things happen. Injuries happen. Like, family issues come up. Like, it's not just, like, I felt like I failed. And I still feel that way to this day. Because my intentions were to start and finish. But then I have to realize I wasn't even 80% healthy in physical aspects of it when I started. So I should be thankful for, happy with how far I actually made it. But yeah, I figured I'd give you all that explanation of why I haven't put out any videos. And I apologize. It just now struck me on the way to work this morning that you guys should know why. But we're gonna, I guess while we're back here, I'd like to start hiking, but I'm also kind of like, I'm burnt out on it right now. So it'll be a little bit, I still thinking about, no, I'm not thinking. I will get out there eventually because me and Pooh Bear got to finish. Because he got off and turns out his foot was broken that whole time. And he's getting surgery sometime this week. And if he hasn't already. And but yeah, it's just, it sucks. But while we're here, we're going to get back into golf. So that's exciting. Haven't played that in like 2 years. But if we end up doing some hiking, I'll definitely film it and I'll post it for y'all. But thank you for coming along on the journey. And hopefully here pretty soon we'll get it planned out and we'll go out and do another third. I've decided that I'm just going to do it in thirds now instead of just like, I want to do big sections of it, like, a month or two here and then go back and work and then plan another month or two and then do it that way. Because I don't think that what I have is really going to ever completely heal. It's going to be one of those things that's always going to linger. It's just going to make it difficult to go that far. But yeah, thanks everybody.